President Bola Tinubu has expressed gratitude to Nigerian educators and reaffirmed his administration's dedication to recognizing their contributions. The president, represented by his Vice President Kashim Shettima, was speaking during an event marking World Teachers' Day in Abuja. He stressed the critical role of education and the need to empower teachers for Nigeria's future. He directed the revision of current guidelines to ensure that teachers are prepared with modern teaching techniques, particularly in information technology and artificial intelligence. To preserve the wealth of experience within the education system, the president also announced the Harmonized Retirement Age of Teachers in Nigeria, Act 2022, allowing educators to serve up to 40 years or until the age of 65. Arise News analyst Dayo Sobowale joins us now to discuss the plight of teachers, how to address them, and President Tinubu's pledge that they will get their due reward under the administration. Good afternoon, Mr. Sobowale.
Good afternoon.
Great to have your favorite topic, education.
Yeah.
Yes. So we understand that the theme for this year is the teachers we need for the education we want. And from what we understand, it seems to be reflective of that major gap in Nigeria, as Nigeria's education sector, especially regarding the shortage of qualified teachers. What are the immediate steps you'd like to see in addressing this gap?
Well, a lot. But you see, the government has shown the encouragement and incentive they need. The topic the Vice President delivered was teacher appreciation, nurturing the mind, and changing lives, right? And the government gave a lot of promises in terms of making the teachers face reality that the modern world has changed. It is a digitalized world, a world driven by artificial intelligence, machine learning especially, and computer science. And the major incentive government gave is tenure of office. Made an act that they can now retire at 65 or 40 years of service, whichever comes first. But then, in the process, they must acquire digital education so as to impart the necessary knowledge to their wards and students, so that, education is the greatest investment in life. My own that you are mentioning, I hope you are now trying to mock my effort. I want free universal education.
I would never mock what you're passionate about in any way.
I feel we have to do that for us to catch up with the world. I'm impressed with what is going on. But then, don't forget, teachers must have a conducive, secured environment to teach. You know this case with Boko Haram in the north. And the way kidnappers take female students in schools because they say no to Western education. Government must eradicate that. Protect teachers, make sure that female education is on course. Because, you see, that is what will improve our GDP, our quality of life. You cannot have women out of work, about half the population. That's unproductive. So teachers, to me, are very important, like government has realized. But then the digital world is there. Artificial intelligence, data processing, automatic intelligence, artificial intelligence is dominating the world. The machine is learning just as the student is learning. And you see, the student can learn from the machine without a teacher in the modern world. So it is up to the teachers to adapt. Government has told them to be adaptive, to be innovative, and to move with the modern world. But government must provide the environment, the enabling, the equipment, the training, to make them able to impart the necessary knowledge. Because they are transformative agents. You see, you are as good as how your teacher has imparted knowledge to you. And nowadays, the phone is competing, the laptop is competing with the teacher. You see, even in some Nordic countries, people are allowed to take phone into exam hall. They are allowed to use their phone. We have not reached that stage. But he has said something. The vice president said something that we must leave learn now to be able to cope with the virtual classroom. The virtual classroom. You know, COVID opened us all to that, Zoom and all that. I think government should put infrastructure on the ground to let teachers be adaptive to that. You get me? But then I warn of a dangerous trend from the US. You get me? I read today, just today, the court gave a judgment, you get me, that freed a teacher who was sacked because he refused to use the gender of a girl who said he has become a girl.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue.
Yes.
But just focusing on...
I am still on.
I know you're still on, and
yes.
You're making some incredibly valid points. I'd just like to sort of enlarge the context of our conversation, because you've made great points about some of the things the government needs to put in place regarding the infrastructure and so forth. Just yesterday, we had headlines about the number of lecturers that are fleeing the country in mass exodus. It's no secret. We've got teachers as well who are choosing to relocate once they get the opportunity to do so. This administration has inherited some very deeply embedded issues. How do we keep our teachers patient for long enough for them to start seeing the impact of some of these policies that are going to come into place?
You broke my chain of thought.
Sorry?
You broke my chain of thought on that.
Go for it.
I was going to come to that. Like I was saying, the teachers union, you know, teachers have unions. In the US, they have teachers union, they're highly politicized. Right now, okay, I mentioned the case, which you did not allow me to learn, that you cannot choose he or she. That is cultural danger, which we as Africans must try to avert. We must try to avert that. But the influence is there, because everything we do here is Americanized. Very soon now you hear that our teachers union is affiliated with some agencies like that. You should not, the unions should not get, how do I put it, Americanized in such a way that they lose African values. You get me? We should put structure on the ground to compete. Put structure on the ground like they do in Norway, Sweden, all these places. Their students, they use their phone in class. They use the phone in exams and they monitor them. So we must find a way to align our teaching, our teachers, with modern technology. Because I'm not exaggerating it. Most of these young children have more knowledge about the informal, digital, virtual economy than even some of their teachers. Although that is why people have said that you must monitor your child, what your child views on the computer, because they are getting influenced by so many things. But the teacher, I don't know how government is going to do it. Whether they must link them with the digital economy ministry to make sure that they have virtual education in using virtual technology to get across to their students, and to be able to search and impart knowledge the way the telephone teaches the child. You know, like I said earlier, I said the internet democratized education and access. So it's not only the teacher that imparts knowledge. There are so many avenues of getting knowledge. But the important thing is to get the right knowledge, not the toxic one that will affect society negatively.
You've spoken very well. I didn't expect anything less. And thank you for the recommendations, especially where you linked the digital economy aspect. It sounds very insightful, and I hope that you're being listened to and it might be explored. Thank you so much, Arise News analyst Mr. Dayo Sobowale, for your time here on this.